ASEAN nation, ASEAN nations, ASEAN nation composes 10 states, 10 countries, and they are considered as the one of the most progressive alliance in the world. As far as trade is concerned, the most progressive alliance is one of the most progressive alliance is ASEAN. I won't so very strong in the military side, but with the economic zone, they are highly progressive nation. ASEAN nation, Association of Southeast ASEAN, Southeast Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN nation that begins from Burma, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Thailand, Vietnam, five country, Philippines, sixth country, Malaysia, seventh country, Singapore, eighth country, Indonesia, ninth country, and Brunei, tenth country. All these 10 countries they falls in Indian subcontinent and that is east to the present India. They form ASEAN group of nations. Two countries are missing. One is East Timor that formed newly, and one is Papua New Guinea. All falls in Indian subcontinent only. So these two nations are missing. Now, in that sense, what is concept of ASEAN and how it is doing, how it changed the local scenario. There is an association called NATO. Main thing is Second World War. Second World War, when it was over, then it produced, okay, it developed three countries, communist-based country. Second World War mainly in Asia. Russia was also communist based only post Second World War. But in Asia, like Vietnam, China, and North Korea, they are communist based countries. So in that sense, now in that sense, ASEAN country was established, founded with these 10 countries. What is the history of ASEAN and how it is doing? So post Second World War, the Europe, it formed a kind of set of nation, one organization that is called NATO. NATO organization that European country they formed. Okay, with that NATO, with the following the NATO, there is one organization in Southeastern Asian country that was formed by Australia, United Kingdom, and United States. All these three countries they formed one organization in Southeast Asia post the Second World War. I have the name that I have to read it through. Okay, and with that, looking at that organization that was formed by Australia, United Kingdom, and United States in the Southeast Asian country, then these three countries, one is Philippines, one is Thailand, and one is Malaysia. Now they formed one association, East South Association of Southeast Asia, ASEA, something like that, in 1951 only, with the replica of what United Kingdom and Australia and United States they formed in this. And these countries, Australia, United States, and United Kingdom, they formed in the replica of NATO. So NATO is the origin. From NATO, these three countries we do not I belong United Kingdom also they do not belong to NATO or European Union. In that sense, these three outsiders replica of NATO they formed in the Southeast Asia. Now looking at that, three countries they formed South Association of Southeast Asia (ASA) or something like that in 1951. Thailand, Thailand, and their Philippines and Malaysia. Now in 1967, now the finally five countries came together and they formed they started an organization called ASEAN, Association of Southeastern Asia Nation, Southeastern Asian Nation, in 1967. And of them was three is anyway there, Thailand, Philippines, and Malaysia. Singapore and Indonesia they joined, and these five countries These five countries, they formed ASEAN nations. In 1967, the primary aim was to replicate the communist country, to make a communist kind of environment in this area, copying the China, North Korea, and then kind of Vietnam. 1976, post-Vietnam War, when Vietnam North and South they got united and it formed a country. 1976, finally ASEAN Nations Summit started. Officially, it kicked off. So 1976 in Bali, that is an island of Indonesia. From Bali, there was a summit, first summit of the ASEAN nation, and this ASEAN nation kicked off in 1976. Later, five more countries they joined, and it is now 10 country ASEAN nation. Very, very prosperous organization and highly fruitful, highly productive. They have area of I believe they have area of around 45. They have area of 45 million square kilometer. Present day India is more than 3 million square kilometer. I believe 3.2 million or 3.3 or 3.4 million square kilometer. In that sense, ASEAN nation they have 4.5 million square kilometer, bigger than current India, and they have population I believe 600 million or something like that, 60 crore. That is much less than India. Means it is really a natural prosperous area. Population is less, area is high, and they have I believe 10 cities or town that has been identified which are kind of growing very fast. One of them is Singapore, then Jakarta, that is Indonesia, and then Kuala Lumpur, and these cities they are growing very fast. Okay, so ASEAN nation is economically powerful because this is also considered a tiger and tiger cub. Like Philippines come Philippines, I believe it comes in tiger cub. So there are tiger cub country which are growing in the electronic industry, and they are assisting United States and China. That is the main concept behind this because money is coming in that region. What they established, the ASEAN nation, what they established beyond that, they established FTA, free trade area, not trade agreement, free trade area. Free trade area means any industry in ASEAN nation, if he is manufacturing an item, no, it is the concept in ASEAN is a country. ASEAN is a country. It is not a set of countries. It is a one country. If anyone is manufacturing an product in Burma, then he can sell all over the ASEAN nation without fulfilling any trade tariff or something like that. He can take his an item and he can go to Singapore, and in the Singapore footpath, Singapore pedestrian, he can sell it simply. And whatever he sells it, then tax he has to pay to the Singapore. Normal tax what other sellers are selling. This is what the free trade area. Later they made free trade area and they combined Australia and New Zealand also. Now ASEAN, Australia, New Zealand free trade area of free trade agreement is also has happened in 2009. Very fruitful. Now world is following ASEAN nation. Who is following ASEAN nation? World is following ASEAN nation. The SAARC, South Asia, South Asia Association of Regional Cooperation, SAARC nation. That is the inner Indian subcontinent. Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Maldives, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. So these country they form 8 countries. These countries they form the SAARC, which is dead, which is practically dead. That was that they tried to replicate ASEAN only. Bangladesh first tried to enter into ASEAN, but ASEAN countries they refused Bangladesh because that is a model of communist country. They are copying China, okay, and electronic. Whereas Bangladesh is not a it was mainly military based country. Now it is more or less military based again. There is no election or something like that. It's like a very different kind of scenario. In that sense, they refused Bangladesh. Means you have to be a kind of communist-based country. Then only you can join us. Okay, so we have some data because ASEAN is an organization that is prospering in the trade. Trade means you don't have to pay any tariff. You manufacture your item anywhere in the ASEAN nation, and you can sell anywhere in the ASEAN nation. No, no duty. It is completely duty free. Means you just it's a nation. Okay, so now I have the data that how much it is kind of. It is said that the net trade that is happening in ASEAN nation, that is 10% of their GDP. I believe $10 trillion is their GDP. How much is the GDP? Okay, so trillion dollars. So that much strength is there for their trade in the kind of ASEAN nation. Amazing, right? Means whoever initiated this, he was powerful. Anyway, so it has ten states, and English is the official language, not the Malay or Burmese or whatever. English is the official language. This proves that they are trying to go in sync with United States. This proves in that fashion. What is the motto to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region? Okay, mainly economic. Okay, there is a kind of so this it is ASEAN was created in 1967 and later it was kicked off in 1976 in Bali Summit. There was an organization called SEATO, South East Asia Treaty Organization, that was founded by USA, United Kingdom, and Australia in replica to NATO. I believe United Kingdom is not part of NATO, neither it is part of European Union. United Kingdom is a smart guy. Okay, smart country. Anyway, now first summit of this ASEAN happened in 1976 and last summit happened in 2024 in Laos. And next two session is scheduled. One is in Malaysia and next is in Philippines. Very prosperous, very prosperous. Someone should learn from this country. So it was established in 1967 and Indonesia, Malaysia, and then Philippines, and then Singapore and Thailand. Five countries they were part in 1967 itself. Next five countries they joined it. So next country they joined this organization was, I believe it was Brunei in 1984. Brunei is a very rich country because of petroleum. And then it was followed by Vietnam in 1995. Then 1997 Myanmar and Laos joined, and last was 1999 when Cambodia joined. Two observers are there, East Timor and Papua New Guinea. And problem with the East Timor is it became a new country dividing the Indonesia. So Indonesia tries its best to kick it out. Australia is helping East Timor to become part of ASEAN, and then Papua New Guinea. So Papua New Guinea should enter. Problem with proximity of these two countries with the Australia is because Australia is not a communist country. Communist mentality should be there. That is the concept, not United States mentality. That democratic, communist mentality is required. Anyway, if that is the case, then foreign direct investment in 2009 was $37 billion. 2010 it was $78 billion. This much it is growing. 2010 only $78 billion was the FDI there. As far as trade is concerned, $160 billion. I believe that was in 2009. $160 billion was export and $360 billion was import in 2009. I believe now it would be $1 trillion around. That is 10% of their GDP. Amazing, very high, very high. 10% of GDP is the trade because of the free trade area. It is very high. Okay, the current 2024, the summit happened in Laos, 44th and 45th. So first happened in 1976, that was in Bali, and 1977 it happened in Kuala Lumpur, and post that till I believe till 37th summit it happened annually. 38th onwards, it is happening two times in a year, biannual. Means that much is the requirement now. 38th and 39th summit happened in Brunei, and 44th and 45th happened in Laos in 2024, 6th to 11th November. Now 48th and 49th will happen in Philippines, that is 2026. 46th and 47th will happen in Malaysia in 2025. That much is the schedule for it. Now, tell me one thing, why it is successful? That is the question. Why it is successful? And why South, uh, SAARC, South Asia Association for the Regional Cooperation, whatever Southeast Asia, why it failed? And why ASEAN is so much successful? The answer is the social equality. The between Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, and then Vietnam, and then Philippines, and then Cambodia, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Brunei. The social life is same. The people mentality is same. Anyone from Burma, if he is in some need, then he can go to Laos. He can earn his livelihood. Anyone from Laos can go to Philippines. He can. They look very similar also. Anyway, all are Indian only. They look very similar also, and there is nothing like that. When people to people connection is there, then that will survive certainly. When people to people connection is there, when the business is at people level, the normal arm admi or a common man, then that will be successful. And that is the reason of the success of the ASEAN. That is the reason of the success of NATO also. There is a train, some Euro train or something like that. You can board and you can go country by country. There is nothing like that. You can take a Schengen visa from India also, and then you can go country by country. Not required every country visa, but in Indian subcontinent, from India, if you go to Bangladesh, then you have to take visa passport. If India from Nepal, then you have to some document. If train is going, India and Pakistan, no need to discuss. India and in Afghanistan, no need to discuss. India and Sri Lanka, no need to discuss. When common man to common man touch is not there, you have those this much dissimilarities. Then how SAARC nation would have been successful? It failed. The SAARC nation was successful at the high level. High court judges and then athletes and member of parliament, they can go visa free. This is what they did. Not a common man. Common man has to take visa. A common man, where he will go to take visa? A common man from West Bengal, if he is going to Bangladesh, where from he will take visa? 50 years back, there was no visa concept, passport concept. People had not heard about this term. Now they are doing something like a person is going from India to United States. That way he has to make visa and passport. So whatever they do in this region, certainly it will be failure only. Now Pakistan is dropping bomb on Afghanistan in Patika region. This is the scenario now. What SAARC nation would have successful? This is the condition of Pakistan and Afghanistan, India and Pakistan. India and Nepal all are red. Red relationship is red. Just to show the world, they say we are Indian subcontinent, Indian subcontinent. But inside that, all relationship is red. At least with India, everyone's relationship is red. But see this condition here. Burma and those, how much they are progressing. Now, every year they are meeting twice, not one time, two times. That much is the business going on in that region. Okay, so I would say that is something that should be learned. They all live in same mentality that is called communist mentality, and now they are also called tiger cubs. That America is also completely focusing on the ASEAN countries for future development of electronic items. Australia, New Zealand, it has anyway it is made agreement with the ASEAN. India is also looking to make agreement with the ASEAN. So trade is going on with India and ASEAN. Everyone is looking towards ASEAN. So this is the power of common man and common people.